Whole time I've been hoping Flip would stay on the JBP. I keep talking about his value, his energy, the spark he brings to the show. I get it, he's entertaining, he's lively, he adds flavor. But it's clear as day, they just don't rock with Flip anymore. Back when they were playing the game, Mark was on his back foot, basically little boying him with every single thing Flip said. Every word Flip dropped, Mark had a clap back. And their dynamic has shifted hard in a negative way. There needs to be a real conversation between the two of them, with someone mediating. Right now, they straight up don't like each other. I remember a couple episodes back, Mark said, "I really don't think you're smart. I'm not joking. I really think you're dumb." And he said it to Flip's face. Flip, completely exasperated, just shrugged at all of it. But Mark kept pushing, saying, "I don't rock with you." Ever since that fight, Flip's been looking at everyone sideways because he got scapegoated. They spun the argument as intelligence versus stupidity. And Flip, he got tagged as the face of stupidity. Mark started it, antagonized Flip, and when Flip defended himself, Mark got mad because Flip called him a sucker. Now, if Flip flipped the script and got frustrated at Mark for calling him dumb or questioning his intelligence, Flip would be the one in the hot seat. We'd see Flip differently. But since that argument, Flip has straight up hated Mark, to the point where Joe had to tell him today we're not continuing the conversation about why we haven't been to Ish's house, even though Joe wants to discuss it. Flip's only talking because Joe is talking, but he's clearly aiming at Mark. Flip wants everyone to turn on Mark and notice what Mark is doing. But let's be real, they follow the money, and right now, Mark is the money, the cash cow. Nobody's turning their back on Mark. They're just acknowledging it and moving forward. Flip wants the fight, and Joe's been telling him forever, "You're not going anywhere." I should have known when Joe told us all to clip up. Queenzflip is fixed till 2027. Joe's frustrated with all the antics and is using Mona as the scapegoat because he's been trying to replace Flip. And if you didn't see, Fetty Wap just came home, which tells me Sue Surf might really be coming home soon too. I saw somewhere he's supposed to be out in February, and when Sue Surf returns, there's not going to be room for everyone. A lot of you pointed out that Sue Surf reached out to Mona, she responded, and they're in contact. And we all know Queenzflip hasn't spoken to Sue Surf, not once. So Sue Surf is on his way home. He's basically on his replacement tour. And Flip, he's catching all the heat during the game. You're an idiot. Every joke lands on Flip. Someone else gets roasted, they point at Flip. You're the idiot here, let's all pile on Flip. And because Joe and Flip are actually in a tense spot, they keep calling each other out. Joe said he needed to ET phone home or just leave. Flip had called out Joe earlier, asking, "Why do you have this up for Shade? Are you going through something?" And wouldn't you know it, Shade shows up on an episode not long after. Now everybody's looking at Flip like, "You're replaceable. We don't want you here anymore." Flip looks like Trae Young, except I have no idea who the Washington Wizards are in this scenario. Flip looks like Trae Young. You did everything for this franchise. We appreciate the spark you brought, but we don't need you anymore. We're going in a different direction. Don't tell me Mona is JJ. Oh, Lord, it's wild. The saddest part? Flip knows his time is almost up. He sees it coming. He acknowledges it. The game they started before even getting into Taboo, that was Joe subtly flexing power over all the calls without them responding. That game was already tailored to Flip. Of course, Flip was the first target, and he couldn't even get his move off because he was about to get mad anyway. He said, "I'm pissed at you." Fine. But really he's thinking, "I don't need you anymore." That's the game. That's the joke in my head, at least. Because why put him on the commercial? Why use last year's biggest moment, which included him and Mark, if you don't want him moving forward? It's all fun and games for Flip because he's still getting the same pay as when he was showing up daily versus just once a week. But it starts to hit when he realizes, oh, this suspension hasn't been lifted. Oh, I'm really not coming to every episode. Oh, when I told Mark I'd do a Friday episode, Ian called me. Joe's done dealing with me. No more texts, no more calls. Ian's handling all the punishments. The writing's on the wall, Flip. And of course, Joe's still watching your moves. He sees all the documentary-style content you're making. He's basically telling you, keep doing your thing. I won't advise you outside of here, but here, I have all the guidance while you're present. And I told y'all from the jump, be careful. This might be Mark's plan all along. People are starting to notice and wake up, realizing Mark is the reason Flip only shows up once a week. It has nothing to do with Mona. She's just the scapegoat. And what I said about Mark from the start, he's here for a 2-year plan, then he's out. Don't let him be the reason co-hosts get fired, replaced, or lose days. He's not here for the long haul. So Flip might actually be trying to shake up something completely different. Because at the end of the day, no matter how loud he gets, no matter how many outbursts he has, Flip's been loyal to the soil. Loyal to the point where he doesn't even talk about anyone outside of the pot he started himself. And now, that's being used against him, while someone else isn't showing that loyalty. Call me whatever you want, Mark hater, I don't care. Mark is sucking all the juice out of the JBP. He's learning everything he needs. He's collecting all the intel he can from Ian, Patreon, and everything else. Once he gets what he wants, he's gone. Don't let his podcast with his wife take off. Don't let that happen, because then all the JBP plans go straight in the trash. He doesn't care. And the person who actually cares, the one who gives a damn, even if it comes off messy, is going to be the one fired or replaced. And we already saw he couldn't just bounce back from Melissa Ford. Shout out to Mona. She's huge, she's dynamic, but she's not a Melissa Ford replacement. So much so that if you check today's episode, you'll still see comments dropping Melissa Ford's name. I don't even know what happens if Joe lets go of the 2 people who came in at the same time and brought the most spark to his show. But maybe I'm overthinking it, like always. Let me know what y'all think. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you're already here, you know how we rockin'. And yes, there is a Patreon episode. Man, it's getting messy. I'm talking Flip leaving this episode, but I also dive into someone I feel should get the boot on Patreon, and I get kind of visceral about it. I'm tired of biting my tongue, but y'all can check that out if you want. See y'all soon.